The new RSI Meteor has just received its first spotlight, a fresh introduction to a medium fighter based on RSI Mantis. Unlike its predecessor, which was focused on interdiction and quantum jamming, the Meteor pivots towards firepower. From what I gathered, the goal was to create a more capable combat-oriented variant of the Mantis, and thus the RSI Meteor makes its debut. Of course, the big question is, what makes the Meteor unique? The highlight is two bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons, built directly into the frame. Additionally, it comes with the 4 smaller weapons, likely size 3 or perhaps size 2 at worst case. It's also equipped with respectable missile rack, offering compatibility with size 1 through size 4 missiles. And that actually is quite a lot of missile options for a fighter style ship. While we don't yet know the detailed stats this ship will have, we can reasonably expect some similarities with the Mantis, in terms of maneuverability and general size. That said, I doubt that the Meteor will retain the Mantis's top speeds. With heavier weapons comes likely trade-off in speed and agility for balance purposes. Thus the focus is clearly more towards the weapons and less on the ship's utility aspects, if any. So the big question. Why was this ship made, and do we actually need it? From the general perspective of medium fighters, yes, we could use more to counter the dominance of the well-established F7 series from Mark IIs, Mark Is and all the variants in those families. But from the Mantis evolution into the medium fighter, I'm not directly convinced. What we ended up with is fairly large frame equipped with serious firepower. It even rivals or exceeds some of the heavy fighters in its size and weapon strength. Take the Bir-dy Guardian for example, it has 2 size 5 weapons, non-bespoke, true, but the Meteor could easily outgun or even outmaneuver it. Its fixed size 5 cannons clearly indicate a role that involves engaging larger targets. This isn't your close quarters dogfighting focused fighter, it's likely designed to keep distance and strike hard, targeting larger ships than it, like medium haulers or even sub-capital class ships. If it holds on to Mantis in maneuverability, the Meteor might be surprisingly effective in this role, though I still don't see it performing like a traditional medium fighter. I do appreciate that they did something different here with the RSI ships. Still, I am unsure this was the right decision. The interior accommodations may end up holding it back a little. It feels more like a semi-starter medium fighter, mixing some of the really high-level fighter firepower with the comfort. These features are usually found in multi-role ships. That makes it hard to define this one. Is it a true medium fighter or more flexible? Something that might on paper sound and seem like a medium fighter, but in fact is something else. Perhaps some type of a light-duty craft with guns. Yes, some ships blend comfort and combat, and maybe the Meteor fits into that mold, but it's hard to classify exactly what it's meant to be. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of beak guns on a relatively nimble ship. I'm just curious what the developers envision here. I suspect this ship will function best as a specialized fleet asset, not something you fly solo, but a support bruiser that adds heavy firepower to your squad. Given the remodeled interior, the new fancy weapon rack raising up from the floor of the ship, and general polish, it's clear it wasn't a totally lazy retrofit. They did confirm that the RSI ships got updated with their design language, helping them reimagine the Mantis into the Meteor. They even suggested it could be your daily driver with a heavy punch. But I'd rather see it as a fleet-based role player, part of the carrier group, not necessarily the star of the show, but a heavy hitter that can shift the tide in battle. If you look at another relatively new release, which is the Guardian Heavy Fighter, it also has accommodations. It's also something I consider a starter-friendly heavy fighter, but I think that is more distinct in its role. It's a bit more clear what purpose it serves. For now, it's just the first look. But if it retains the Mantis' speed, we may actually have something unique on our hands. A fast, hard-hitting chaser that can control the fights against bigger targets with its maneuverability and perhaps speed to keep the distance. It's an interesting concept, even if it may not have a huge competitive meta role. Regardless, I want to see just how hard it can hit when it is released. I'm sure we will get more information over the weeks, but we will know for sure what we have at our hands when it is released. So it's definitely one of the more unique designs which we don't see often, and it falls into a very interesting spot. I just hope it won't be utterly disappointing, because from its design, I feel like there are many players who just want to hate on this ship. But I just want to see what it is before we make any definitive opinions about it. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.